What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today we're going to be talking about how and where you can go about selling your silver if you absolutely need to, or if you just simply want to. I'll be answering a subscriber's question related to this topic, along with a couple of other questions. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos, subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club. I'm actually doing a giveaway right now. Join before March 1st if you want to get entered. And of course, go and get your 2 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. Everything is linked in the description. So today is Sunday, February 27th, 2022. Believe it or not, it's actually Tuesday the 22nd as I'm filming the video, multiple days in advance, which means I have no idea what the spot price is going to be by the time the video comes out, so head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. So what we're going to do in today's video is run through a short list of questions that I have collected. I went back and I looked for some older questions on older videos. I screenshot them and I put a little list together, and we're going to run through them and answer them starting right now. But really quick, if anybody has a question for me or if you want to be featured in next week's video, head on down to the comment section and ask away. Anything silver related, gold related, prepping related, anything like that. So the first question we have here is coming from Ephraim asking me, would you trade your silver for land? Now, I especially appreciated this question because it really gave me something to think about, because that has never crossed my mind before. Silver for land. Now, I've been saying for a couple of years now, if and when the gold to silver ratio makes sense, I'd like to trade some silver for gold so that hopefully later on down the road I can trade gold for land. I never really looked at it from this perspective before, removing gold from the equation, but I guess the answer is, in theory, I wouldn't trade all of it for land, and I definitely wouldn't want to trade most of it or even half of it for land. But in theory, I would trade some silver for land if the opportunity presented itself to me. But I think one of two things would need to happen. Number one is spot price would need to go through the roof. Otherwise, two, I would need probably a truckload of silver. I don't think I have enough silver to get myself a plot of land. I don't even know if I have enough silver for a down payment on a plot of land. But that is something that I would like to do eventually later on down the road, and that's part of the strategy that I've been talking about for the last couple of years. Every day when I go to work, I'm trading my time for dollars. As painful as that is to think about, that's true. That's what I'm doing at the end of the day. Trading my time for dollars. At the end of the month, when I take care of the bills and all the food has been purchased and I paid for everything that needs to be paid for, the dollar bills that are left over, I can take some of them and trade them for a little bit of silver. Now, I haven't done the next step yet, but I would like to whenever the gold to silver ratio makes sense to me, which is to trade some silver for some gold. Again, not all of it, not even half of it or most of it or anything like that, just a portion of the silver for gold. Rinse and repeat throughout the course of my life potentially, and later on down the road, years, decades to come, maybe by then, at that point, I might have enough gold to trade for some land or to get into real estate. That's just what I would like to do. Next question is coming from Niles asking me, what do you think would happen to the value of silver if the day comes where our currency is backed by precious metals? Good question, and there's a reason that I screenshot this and I chose to answer it in this video, because this is something that I've been meaning to talk about anyway. Now that we're off the gold standard, we've been off for a really long time. If we were to go back on, which by the way, first and foremost, we're not going back to the gold standard. Those days are long gone. I'd be willing to bet the stack on it. We're not going back to the gold standard. We're definitely not going to a silver standard. We're not going to a precious metal standard. Never in a million years would I expect that to come back. But hypothetically, if we were to go back to a gold standard or a precious metal of some sort standard, I'm not so sure it would really do much at all to silver or gold. I don't know if it would really have any type of an impact on the precious metals, at least not initially. And the reason I say that is because most people, and when I say most people, I'm talking about the 99%. I'm talking about the vast majority. I'm talking about the general public, the general population. I'm talking about everyone outside of the silver and gold stacking world. They don't care what our currency is backed by. In fact, I would argue that most of them probably don't even know what our currency is backed by at all. There are people out there, trust me when I say this, there are people out there who think that our currency is still backed by gold. I've had a family member tell me not too long ago that the dollar is backed by gold. And I was like, well, not anymore. And he said, really? They stopped that? And I was like, yeah, pretty recently, a couple decades ago. There are people out there who don't know what our currency is backed by, and to be honest with you, they don't care what our currency is backed by. They could back our currency by French fries for all anybody cares. It wouldn't have a bit of a difference. And anything that our currency is backed by, it seems as though the government ends up having bad intentions. So I would say it's better that we're not on a precious metal standard at all. Because our currency, I would say, has been backed by 3 things to date. Number 1, it was originally backed by gold. When we were originally backed by gold, look at the steps the government took to rack up a whole bunch of gold. There was the quote-unquote confiscation, which wasn't really a confiscation. It was more of an order telling people to turn in their gold so that we can bail the country out. A point being is that when we were backed by gold, the government ended up wanting to rack up a whole bunch of gold. What was our currency backed by next? It's probably safe to say that we were backed by oil. Do I need to go into detail? Look what the government has done over the last couple of decades as a means of racking up a whole bunch of oil. And then, of course, third, finally, nowadays, what is our currency backed by? I don't know exactly, but I would say it's backed by debt. And I know that sounds like a joke because most people are afraid of debt and most people think that debt is a bad thing, and it is a bad thing for the people who are in debt. Debt is a horrible thing for the people who owe someone else money. But guess what? Debt is like the greatest thing in the world if you're the person that's owed money by other people. Because if people owe you money, you have complete and total control over them. And look at the last couple of years. Look how much spending has gotten done. Look how much printing has gotten done. Pretty sure it's safe to say that the government is currently racking up a whole bunch of debt. Next question is coming from Nate, asking me, is DYDSS your real last name? Yes. DYDSS is my last name. That's what it says on my license, my birth certificate, my social security card, my bank account. That's how it's pronounced too, DYDSS. It doesn't stand for Don't You Dare Stop Smiling or anything like that. It doesn't stand for anything actually because it's not an acronym. It's my last name. Next question is coming from Timothy, asking me, is the end of the month or beginning of the month a better time to buy, or does it matter? Good question. I'm just going to go ahead and assume you're talking about silver and or gold, and I'm also going to go ahead and assume that you're probably relatively new to the stacking world. A lot of people are who are recently subscribing to the channel, at least over the last couple of months. But the short answer is, doesn't matter. In any way, shape, or form. You could buy at the beginning of the month, the end of the month, in the middle of the month. You can buy all month long. You can take a month off and come back the following month. It doesn't matter. Spot price of silver and gold, they have their ups and downs, and it's not really time dependent. It doesn't really matter if it's the beginning of the month, the end of the month, what season it is. None of that matters. The best way to go about stacking, in my opinion, is to dollar cost average your way in. So get a little bit now, get a little bit next week or next month, get a little bit the following week or the following month, little by little. That's what I believe to be the best way of going about stacking. And the same thing goes for investing, by the way. If you're investing in, let's just say, broad market index funds, dollar cost averaging your way in whenever you have the currency, it's probably the best way to go. Because the alternative, actually there are two other alternatives. There are three ways to go. Number one is dollar cost averaging your way in. Two is lump sum investing, or I guess in this case, lump sum stacking. But that's more so reserved for the people who make large amounts of currency. Not a lot of us have the ability to lump sum invest or lump sum stack, so we only have the option to dollar cost average our way in every week or every month or every couple of months or whatever it is that we're doing. But then, of course, there's a third option, and this is probably the worst thing you could ever possibly do. Trying to time the market. I'm not even going to go into detail about that, but if you're going to sit there and wait for spot price to go lower, there's pretty much a 50-50 chance that it'll go lower or it could go higher. So you're better off buying now or whenever you have the currency and are able to buy or stack or invest or whatever it is that you're doing. Dollar cost averaging your way in is, in my opinion and from my perspective, the best way you can possibly go. Next question is coming from Hugo Boy, asking me, why is all junk silver sold out at the big bullion websites? Well, apparently and unfortunately, I'm answering this question 4 months late, so I couldn't tell you if the online precious metal dealing websites are still sold out of junk silver. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't even tell you what they're sold out of today because I do not shop online. Support the local coin shop. Shop locally. Support small businesses. That's the big takeaway from all of this. But back to the question, why were they sold out of junk silver, or why are they currently? I don't know if they still are or if they are again. I don't know for sure, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume that a lot of people turned to constitutional silver as a way of continuing to stack now that the price of silver is a little bit higher than what they're used to, and maybe the premiums are significantly higher than what they're used to. There are a lot of people out there who don't really care for 90% silver, myself included. A couple of years back, I wanted really nothing to do with 90% silver, and then I turned to 90% silver as a way of diversifying the stack a little bit, and then I completely did like a 180 and I went all in on 90%. That's what I've been doing for the most part for the last 2 years, because that's where I can get the most bang for my buck. That's where I can get the most value, because the premiums are lower on 90%, at least at my local coin shop. I don't know what the websites are charging because I don't shop for silver online anymore, but I'm just going to go ahead and assume that a lot of people started turning to 90% constitutional junk silver as a way of being able to continue stacking for probably a slightly lower premium. Because what happened 2 years ago when spot price went crazy and premiums went even crazier, they went up especially high on silver eagles. They went up crazy high on pure silver coins in general. Maple Leafs, Philharmonics, Britannias, premiums went up on all of those as well. They also went up on generic silver rounds and bars, not as high up as pure silver coins, but then the lowest premiums that I've noticed from my experience over the last 2 years has been 90% junk constitutional. So I believe that there are two different types of people that have been stacking over the last couple of years. First group of people are probably relatively new and they probably aren't so long-term focused. Nobody really is at the very beginning. You kind of have to develop an understanding of prioritizing the long term over the short term, especially when you're just starting out. So I would say the first group of people who are a little bit more worried about today, tomorrow, next week, and next month, and just the near future, a lot of them probably got discouraged by the premiums on silver over the last 2 years. And I don't know if they've taken a step away from silver or they just gave up on it altogether because of the premiums, but I would say that's the first group of people who were probably pushed away due to being more short-term focused. And then, of course, the second group of people long-term focused people, people who are not worried about today, tomorrow, next month, next week, whatever. They're focused on years to come. 5, 10, maybe 20, 30 years to come. They're worried about the long term. They're not worried about the near future. They're worried about years, decades, maybe even generations to come. So people like that, people like myself, for example, I'm all about stacking for weight. I want as much silver as I can possibly get for, of course, the lowest possible premium. It doesn't matter to me what the piece of silver is, as long as it's silver and as long as I can get the best bang for my buck. And over the last 2 years, it's been 90%. Next question is coming from the best looking subscriber that I have, Mykie DYDSS2, asking me, how much longer do we have to get our free stocks? Now, for those of you who do not know, if you download Webull and fund your account, they will give you 2 free random stocks just for signing up. But they have a February promo going on right now, where if you refer one friend before the end of the month, aka you have 1 day left, they will give you a spin on the Webull wheel where you have a chance of winning a free share of Google worth over $2,000 right now. That's if you refer just one person. But if you refer 3 people, Webull will give you a guaranteed $150 worth of Apple stock. Both of those promos right there, they end on February 28th. I'm posting this video on the 27th. You have 1 day left. That's the answer to the question. You have about 24 hours. So if anybody hasn't already gotten their 2 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding their account, make sure to go ahead and do so, and then just refer 1 friend for a chance to win Google stock, and refer 3 friends to have a guaranteed way of winning $150 worth of Apple stock. Webull link in the description. Next question is coming from Starboy, and this is the last question that we have here. The question is, how and where to sell them when you need money? So this is in reference to the precious metals. How and where do you sell the silver and gold when you need the currency? I'm just going to rearrange the words a little bit. How and where to sell silver and gold when you need the currency? Well, let's start with where. There are a couple different places you can go about doing this. Probably the most ideal is your local coin shop. Most towns have a coin shop. If your town doesn't have one, odds are the neighboring town probably does, or a town not too far away. If a coin shop is out of the question, you can always go to a pawn shop, a thrift shop, an antique shop. A lot of them buy and sell coins as well. If you, for whatever reason, don't have the ability even to do that, you can sell your silver online. That's an easy way of getting rid of silver. Because guess what? You're not restricted to just what the local coin shop is willing to buy them for. You can sell them for really whatever price, because you have a customer base of literally anybody on the internet. Anybody with internet access that is actively looking for what you're selling is probably going to buy it from you. And if you're selling it online, of course, unfortunately, now you have that paper trail. If that was something that you're trying to avoid, then just don't sell it online. But if that's not something that you care about, if it's not something that you're worried about, you can go about doing it this way. You can charge a little bit higher of a premium. You can have the buyer pay for shipping, or you can pay for shipping. That's up to you. So there are a lot of different places you can go about selling your silver if you need the currency. But now, talking about how to sell the silver and gold if you need the currency. If you're going to do it online, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just take a picture, list it, put a description, put in a price, and you'll get a buyer. How to go about selling it at the local coin shop. This is where things can get a little bit tricky. And this is where you want to be strategic. Because your question was, how and where to sell them when you need money/currency. When you're in a state of desperation, that's probably not how you want to advertise yourself. You don't want to walk into a coin shop and say, hey, listen, I need the money, I need the currency, I need to get rid of this stuff. Can you please buy it off of me? Coin shops and pawn shops and just stores like that in general, they're used to dealing with people like that all day long. People that are in a state of desperation, and they're desperately trying to sell the silver because they desperately need the cash. People who are in a state of desperation, they'll take what they can get. So you don't want to get the bare minimum. You want to get a higher premium, and you want to go in there and talk to the coin shop workers or owners, which, by the way, you should already be on good terms with, because if you're going to end up selling your silver or gold to a coin shop, you should be buying your silver and gold from a coin shop. You should be familiarizing yourself with the people who work there or the people who own the business. You want to know each other by face. You want to know each other by name. You want to know each other. You want there to be something there, some type of a friendship or some type of a bond. That way, you're not just some random guy walking in saying, hey, I need some currency. What do you got for me? You want to walk in there as a regular customer. You want to walk in there as a known supporter of their business. They're the buyer, you're the seller, because the tables have turned. Usually they're the seller and you're the buyer. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, you don't want to walk in there desperately, letting them know, hey, I'm in a really bad situation right now. I need to get rid of the silver. I need to get rid of this gold. I need the cash. It's an emergency. That's a good way of getting bare minimum. If you want to get more, I would obviously go in asking for the favor of trading your silver and gold for some currency. But don't forget, you're doing them a favor as well. You're supplying them with a whole bunch of inventory that they're going to go and sell for a profit. They need product on their shelves as well. They're a coin shop. What is a coin shop without coins? It's just an empty building. So they need people like you coming in and out, selling silver, selling gold, so they can go and sell it to somebody else. So I would go about it in a very casual way. And before you're even in a state of desperation, before you need the currency, next time you're in the local coin shop, to get silver and get rid of your currency, talk to the coin shop about it. Ask them, just say, out of curiosity, if I ever decide to get into another hobby, if I lose interest in coins, you guys would buy it off me, right? How do the premiums work on that? You know, you're obviously not going to get, crazy high premiums because they need to make a profit as well. But that's something that you should do before you need to sell. I made a video earlier in the week talking about familiarizing yourself with the process at the local coin shop when it comes to trading silver for gold. If and when the gold to silver ratio gap closes in and an opportunity presents itself to you where you can trade one metal for the other. I said in that video, don't wait until game day to start practicing. Same thing applies to this question right here, because every coin shop is different. Everyone's going to have a different experience no matter where you go. So there's no set way of doing it, but these are the questions that you want to ask yourself now, or these are the questions that you want to ask your local coin shop now. You want to visit the local coin shop. Next time you go in supporting them, ask them how the process works. If you want to get rid of a little bit of silver, how much would they buy it for? Per troy ounce. Crunch the numbers and figure out if that's the best way to go. Keep in mind there's usually not a paper trail. Or if it would make more sense to deal with the paper trail and sell it online. I would say that's probably the best way to go. But that's going to do it for all of the questions that we have in this video. Again, if you have any questions for me, if you want to be featured in the next Q&A video, I'm trying to do these every Sunday, head on down to the comments and ask away. And if there's any question that I answered in the video that you would like to extend on or give your input, have at it in the comments. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for weekly videos. Go and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. We got t-shirts, hoodies, stickers, coffee mugs in a bunch of different designs. We even have the limited edition, luck has nothing to do with it, t-shirt and hoodie, only available until St. Patrick's Day. Get one while you can. A portion of the proceeds are going to St. Baldrick's Foundation. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. Come and join us in the Precious Metals VIP Club, which is where I do giveaways every single month. Have one going on right now. Join before March 1st to get entered. Live streams multiple times a week. Deal alerts on silver and gold every single day. You can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. I just posted a brand new adventure vlog Saturday morning, and there are a ton of other perks as well. VIP Club link in the description. And of course, last but not least, go and get your 2 free stocks by downloading Webull and funding your account. They're going to give you 2 free random stocks just for doing so. And then if you refer one friend by tomorrow night, they will give you a spin on the Webull wheel where you have a chance of winning a free share of Google stock worth over $2,000. And if you refer 3 friends by tomorrow night, they're going to give you a guaranteed $150 worth of Apple stock. If you don't want the stocks, go and get them anyway, sell them, and use the currency to get some silver and gold. You only have 1 day left. Time is running out, so don't pass up on an opportunity. Webull link in the description. And of course, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again if you have any questions for me, and if you'd like to be in the next Q&A video, likely next Sunday. Feel free to ask away. Any questions that you have related to silver, related to gold, related to prepping, or really related to anything that I talk about here on this channel. Or, of course, if you'd like to take a question that was already answered in the video and extend on my answer, you're more than welcome to do so. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.